So when we're setting up our GPIO pins for the first time, this is the GPIO board on the back of the Raspberry Pi. These little pins, each of them has an individual number, and we've put this little diagram into this little case here so that we can install it. If we look on the back here, it says USB port to this side, and notice 3.3 volts, and then there's numbers for each one of these different pins. It should just fit right on top, just like so. Okay. Once that's on, I'm now ready to use my breadboard to hook it up. Now, a breadboard is simply a way of taking the electricity that comes off of here and bringing it over to this device, which can move around the electricity. So what I'd like to do is open up in our kit. We have an LED light. Here's one. LEDs have a characteristic about them that they have one side that's longer than the other. The longer side is the side that goes to the positive side. So what I'm going to do is spread it out just a little bit, and this center rail right here does not connect as it goes through. So I'm going to push one side into one side of the rail and the other into the other side, just like that. Okay, so you can see it looks just like so. Right. Now, with in your kit came some wires that look like this. They have a male side on one side and a female side on the other. It means if I peel it off and I take one of these, I can go from the ground over here, a little ground pin. It's the third one down, and I'll push it right on. 1, 2, 3. And I can put it into the rail over here. These guys are all connected, that says negative. Okay, now I've lighted that whole side up as a negative. I can get another one, and I'll go from the always on 3.3 volt one at the top here, and I'll push it right in, and I'll push it into the positive side right over here. Now there is a positive right next to it, so I don't have to spread across, but I like to do that just so that kids can see that, hey, I've got a negative and a positive on opposite sides of my board. Now, in order to connect up this positive from here to here, I'll need to put one more little jumper wire that goes across. This one has two positives, so put one on there and one into the row that has the positive side of the LED button going. And now, to get my negative, or to get the ground across, I'm going to need to use a resistor. Now, the resistors come with a whole bunch of little things on the back here. Each of the resistors has a number on it: 100,000, 10,000, 220. You also, in your kit, had a really big pile of resistors that go along with it. So what essentially you can know is that these little lines here tell you how much resistance you have. So if the first color is yellow, then that means it's a 4, and then the next color is a purple, then you go down to 4, 7. So 4, 7. Okay, and then it times how many? 4, 7 times 10 times 1 times 100, and you can get an example right here. So that's how they work. Okay, for ours, we're going to go ahead and put a a 220. Pretty much any resistor will work. I always put the shiny side towards the negative, but it doesn't really matter. As long as I connect up to the negative side here and to the same side there, then my bulb should go off. So, yay! Now it's ready. We've proved that our LED works. The other thing that comes in your kit are these buttons. Okay, notice how the buttons have an on and off, or they have pins that point down. So if you push this button across that center zone, we can actually push it into the side. You need to feel it kind of go in. Okay, and you'll feel like a slight little click each time you push. Okay. Oh, the reason I turned off is I disconnected up here from my positive power. Now, if I wanted to make this light bulb have a on and off button just physically, I'd have to somehow interrupt some part of this circuit, and the circuit right now is coming over here through the resistor back over. If I take this section right here and I move it right over to one side of this button, where one of the legs is coming down, and I get another pin, and I go from the other side where the leg is coming down, and I put it back in line here. I know it's a little complicated. Notice the light bulb isn't going off, but when I push the button, I've allowed the electricity to flow. So now we'll do this with code, not just physical.